Hi, welcome back to the wedding show. I'm Shelly with Shelly Armstrong Events. I'd like for you to meet our second guest today. We have Chayrisse Gayle. She's a health benefits specialist, and she's going to tell us a little bit about what she has to offer for families and go into some of those details with you. Thank you so much for being on our show today.
Thank you,
It's
Shelley.
such a pleasure to meet you.
It is an absolute pleasure.
So thank you. So please tell us a little bit about what you do. It's not something that I am very well versed in, and so I'm really kind of interested to hear, because I know a lot of people who are not in the industry of health and well-being or insurance know a lot, and they're kind of, especially for the clients that we have, usually a little bit younger, so they're just coming off of maybe parents' insurance and benefits. So they really don't have a big direction, so maybe you can give us a little bit of information on that.
Great, Shelley. The first thing, I'm going to just definitely give you a little bit about what I do. The best way I can describe myself is that I'm a broker.
Okay.
Without the broker fee that exclusively works with 8-rated companies.
Right.
The primary things that I do is, one, help individuals, families, and business owners really pinpoint the right type of medical coverage that's going to work for their budget and for their needs.
Okay.
Or I sit down and I really help you make sure you're getting the best out of your life insurance and that you own it. And the third thing that I do is I really help you plan and prepare for financially devastating medical events before they occur. But I know that this is a wedding show, so we definitely want to, I don't want to discuss everything under the sun. I just want to give a little food for thought when it comes to marriage and planning for the what-ifs.
Absolutely. Well, and the thing I think that kind of people forget about is once you are married, you've got someone else, and you're going to probably be starting a family soon, and you really have to plan ahead for a family, and it's not just you anymore. It's your spouse. It's you two together, and you really want to make sure that things are done properly and not done at a time where or after the fact, after it's needed, or after something devastating happens.
Exactly.
And it's horrible to think about, but at the same time, you really need to know that I've got my family to take care of. And so it's definitely nice to have a little bit of help and inside information, and not from, like you said, some people who just like want to throw insurance down your throat. Oh, you need this, you need this. No, what do they as an individual and as a new family, what do they really need?
Definitely, you touched on an important topic, is including that future person into your plans for the future at the same time. And really taking into consideration what type of family you're jumping into.
Right.
You don't want to be like my husband and I. We had what we call an on-the-fly marriage. Go to the courthouse, got married, went to work the next day.
What? It works
and
for
didn't
some
plan
people.
for 8 years later.
But it works for
It
some
does
people.
work
That's
for
okay.
some people.
That's okay.
But there's two types of marriages that I really categorize. One is first-time marriages. It doesn't matter whether or not you're married first, second, third, fourth time. I look at a first-time marriage as you're entering into a marriage with no kids. So it's extremely important that you decide whether or not that's something that you want to have in place, and kind of put it on paper and what your goals would be for your kids if that what-if does occur.
Right.
Do you want to plan for them financially if you're not around? You want to plan for their education if they're not around?
Absolutely.
If you're the type of family that feels that your kids should pull themselves up from their bootstraps, then you definitely want to plan for burial, and you want to plan for long-term care events if they occur, because you don't want to have them worrying about that burden.
It's so much to think about.
It is
oh my
a lot
gosh.
to think about, Shelley.
No, and unless you just sit down and actually talk about it, it's not something you're just going to start thinking about.
Exactly.
Oh.
And a lot of people aren't getting married for the first time.
Yeah.
And when we really look at marriages, we have to take into consideration blended families.
Yes.
What type of marriage am I entering into?
Yes.
Do we both have kids? What age group are the kids? Are they pre-college? Are they adults?
Right.
And am I
So many
single?
questions.
Yes. Am
So
I
many
entering
questions.
into it with kids? So I hope I'm not overburdening you.
No,
with too
but I'm
much
starting to
information.
think. Oh my gosh.
But,
like so much to think about.
Possibly one of the most important parts when it comes to marriage is if I don't have any kids, but my spouse does have kids. I definitely want to plan for my spouse and for the kids. I don't want to enter into the marriage and feel like if something does happen, I'm going to be using the inheritance that my spouse put away for their children. You know, I want to plan for those things and make sure to take the burden off their back at the same time.
Right.
So I've definitely thrown a lot at you, Shelley. I know that. I could go on with this topic forever.
It's okay. I have my Bella Bellini to
Please,
kind of
have
help me
another
deal
drink.
with it all. Right.
Can we possibly roll the graphic that I sent to you guys?
No, let's see what we've got there. There we go.
So it's just a little rundown of everything that I do. I wasn't able to include an address because we're in the process of moving to locations, and we need the city to approve our location officially.
Great.
So I put my phone number and my Facebook page. You can reach out to me.
Okay. So the best way to get a hold of you is through your Facebook page and the phone
And
number
the
that we've got
telephone number,
listed.
which is
Okay,
my
right
cell
there.
phone. You can always get in contact with me.
Right. Okay.
Shelley, I've been doing this for a little over 2 years.
Oh, fantastic.
I absolutely love what I do.
Oh,
I've
good.
helped multiple families in various situations, and I'd definitely love to be your advisor, so don't hesitate to reach out to me.
Wonderful. Well, for all of you upcoming brides and grooms, seriously do consider, you know, some of these things that aren't the fun part of planning life, you know. I mean, but seriously, you really actually do need to think about it, especially once you start thinking, yeah, we might have more of a family coming, and be ahead of the game and not after the fact, because that's kind of no fun to work at it at that time. So anyways, so you can get a hold of Chayrisse. Again, her number is down there at the on the screen. You can see it. Let's see, 777-0520. And she also has a Facebook page, you said. So you can locate her on the Facebook page. And just have a meeting and have a little chat and see how she can help you out. So again, thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you,
I really
Shelley.
appreciate you opening our eyes to all this because it's very important. So, all right, thanks so much. Stay tuned.